Live League Game of the Day. Zootriot versus spidy400. Colin versus Sturm.
Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Semi-original guy, aka Mr. Cannon from Advanced Wars by Web, bringing you another live league game of the day. We are back here in Tier 0 territory for the live queue once again for the first week of April. The Tier 0 COs are allowed in the live queue. So if you want to go out there and cause some shenanigans, folks, you better go and queue up some Advanced Wars live queue and have a jolly old time. Win or lose, it's all about just causing as much ruckus as you possibly can. Now, speaking of ruckus, we got ourselves a game, folks. zootriot versus spidy400. So I played both of these players before. I have both won and lost against these players, I believe. So yeah, it's pretty cool. I think we're gonna have a pretty good one. We got Colin versus Sturm. Now Sturm is sort of like the pseudo legendary of broken COs. So he's not necessarily tier 0, but he's like not necessarily not tier 0. If he was Advanced Wars 2 Sturm, now he would be top of the board tier 0. But in this one, he's not tier 0 or Advanced Wars 2 Sturm. He's more Advanced Wars 1 cartridge Sturm when you're playing Versus or War Room or whatever. So yeah, he's not like quite as powerful as he could be, but he's still like pretty strong. I mean, his main gimmick is just that movement bonus, you know, just 0 cross all terrain. He's got all terrain vehicles, folks. So yeah, I think we're gonna have a pretty cool one here. We're on Vietnamic today, so this is a pretty neat map. It's pretty small, all things considered, lots of terrain. I think Sturm's gonna be super good on some of this terrain here. I mean, he's gonna be able to just whoosh his way all over the place here. But I mean, we got base light, airport, comm tower supporting matchup here. Corners are going to be primarily where the fighting happens. Center's going to have a little bit of fighting, but there's not really too much in the center that you actually want to fight for. But that's where your front shifting is going to come around, is in the center. So you do want to kind of hold the center. I don't know how this game's going to go. I've been seeing a trend when it comes to the tier 0 games, and a lot of them are over by like day 8 to 13. So there's a pretty clear definitive winner when it comes to the tier 0 games pretty quickly. This one lasts a little bit longer, so hopefully it's going to be a good one, folks. Without any further ado, let's go ahead and see what went down in the live league today. Yes, nice and chill, nice and relaxed as we bust out the standard infantry builds, because you got to get the infantry on the field, folks. It is the #1 priority in Advanced Wars by Web. #2 priority in Advanced Wars by Web, after all, is making sure that you like and subscribe to the channel for all that hot live league action, as well as other Advanced Wars content, folks. I do sometimes do other content as well. We'll be releasing the finals of the official Classic Boy Tag Team Tag Tournament very, very soon. Alright, day 3. Spidey already rushing up and getting captures he has absolutely no business getting. And has the early recon, folks. As we know, Sturm's early recons, oh my god, they are a force to be reckoned with, folks. Look at this flipping movement from this man over here. Absolutely wild, absolutely crazy. zootriot busts out the tank. We got a tank on the field, folks. Well, let's see how this one goes. Boom, 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 boom. And okay, so Spidey can't actually purchase a tank yet. Looks like next turn he'll be able to get a tank or something on the field. That should be good. Now, Sturm, because of the lack of offensive abilities, he thrives on tech ups. If you can tech up a Sturm, you're having a pretty good day. Now, the classiest unit in Advanced Wars by Web is a beautiful tech up for him. Sturm, he gets stinky, folks. He is a stinky CO, and he likes stinky units. I know, it's gross. It's gross, but you know what? Sometimes when you got the Newt face, they bust out the Newt units. But we'll see what happens here today, folks. Recon already in the center of the map. No, alright, so we got a tank on the field now, looking pretty sly, pretty slick over here. So far the captures are relatively even, although it looks like zootriot now going for the neutral airport could potentially be interrupted. I mean, obviously he's going to get interrupted. Oh, look at this flipping guy. He's got no business. Look at this. Look at this coverage. Look at this coverage. 360 degrees of chaos over here, folks. Alright. Gets the interrupt. Doesn't get the clear because of the lack of offensive abilities here, but does take it all the way down to 2. Zootriot should be able to bust out that tank here, get a nice shot on the recon, maybe a shot on the infantry. Recon probably be better. Maybe loop around, take a shot on this guy. Now, Sturm does have 120% defense, so it's going to be very difficult for Colin to contend with. As we can see here, only 40% damage right there. Continuing the capture. Join cap right now. Colin should be able to just keep joining infantry here. I mean, his unit count doesn't really matter too much. What really matters when it comes to Colin is getting those tech ups. Once you get the tech ups going, he's going to have a pretty good time, folks. Colin's another one of those stinky guys, you know. Sometimes he busts out the stinky units. But they're cheap. They're very cheap. Very cheap units, folks. Oh my god, zootriot. 11k left over in the bank after that turn. Oh, he's going to have so much money. He's going to be able to buy so much stuff. Like, honestly. It's going to be ridiculous how much stuff he can buy. Zootriot, beautiful move right here. Some people would just attack from this tile once again and just be like, oh, I crashed tank into recon. No, Zootriot, too smart for that. You know what he does? Loops around, blocks this infantry so that there can't be a 2-strike on this infantry. Now he is guaranteed the airport. If Colin gets the airport, he's going to be able to start busting out the classy boys of the sky, folks. Get the classy boys of the sky out there. Get the battle copters. You know, you're going to be having a pretty good time against old Sturmy boy. Sturm will be able to just, you know, casually bust out anti-airs that can get full movement all the time, every single day. Got a tank strike down here. Very interesting tank strike. Doesn't really do a whole lot of damage. Doesn't really get hit by a whole lot of damage. This is like a secondary kind of pillow fight here. Now, normally the original pillow fight is Sturm on Sturm, where the engagements literally do nothing. Now, just for example here, let's go ahead and take a look at this here. We got ourselves a tank, and we got ourselves a tank. If you do something like this, yeah, this is the original pillow fight, folks. This is not going to be doing anything. Absolutely nothing. That's 150% defense with 80% offense. Well, technically 90% offense because he's got a comm tower, which is pretty common on most maps. But if you look at it from this perspective here, even Colin, if we're going to have 3-star defense, he's only going to be doing 24 to 29% damage. Let's say, for example, he manages to get a comm tower. He's only doing 27 to 32% damage. Basically just getting hit by 27 to 32% right back. So, yeah, this is a pillow fight, folks. We're just going to rely on tech ups. Whoever techs up first, probably going to have the upper hand. So let's see what happens here. Zootriot just banking that money. I don't really necessarily feel like I agree with just banking the money so much. I mean, Colin's going to get money. He's definitely going to get a lot out of his first gold rush, but definitely need the units on the field. Like, what's the difference right now? So Sturm's got 4 tanks plus arty plus copter plus a recon on the field, and there's 4 tanks, and yeah, so technically Zootriot right now is behind. He's behind like 2 vehicles. It will be able to bust out a couple vehicles this turn. 27,000 funds in the bank though. Like, I'm hoping he busts out a battlecopter right here. Yeah, get the battlecopter on the field. Boom. I like it. I like it. That's calling for free charge right there. I don't know if Spidey should go up and attack that. It's kind of risky. So I don't know. That's definitely screaming some free charge to me, for sure. But as we see here, Spidey continuing the assault here, going for another neutral property. Battlecopter going into the center, taking shots on the infantry. Very interesting. So Sturm going up and taking these engagements. This is basically like him sitting on a forest. So even Sturm on 0-star terrain is still pretty good, all things considered. Going for a capture here. That's probably gonna be going through. Yeah, it's probably gonna be going through. I think maybe you know, you can probably two-shot this. Like, what's the reduced by 80%, 10% attack, so it's base firepower. So he should be able to clear this. You probably will be able to get an interrupt here. Yeah, maybe. It's definitely possible. The only problem is if you go up and attack from this tile, you're opening yourself up to being hit by a battlecopter. So maybe what you could potentially do in this situation is bring infantry down here, eliminate this tank, loop around with anti-air attack here, then attack this tank with another one of your tanks. Or even just interrupt with the infantry, to be completely honest. You probably can't do that, though, because you need to destroy this, which moves there. So then that moves here, this moves here. You still clear this. Yeah, infantry can loop around right afterwards. Like, what's the damage roll on this, though? Is this even a possible attack? That's the real question here. 44 to 51, and this goes down to 6. Still doing 44 to 51. It's probably a roll. That's probably a roll then. Well, let's see what zootriot decides to do. He's a pretty clever guy. Sacks the infantry, gets a little extra attack there. Oh, look at this. See, he knows. He knows what's up. That's actually really unfortunate. That's super unfortunate. That was like two low rolls for sure. Well, actually, they could have been mid rolls too, to be completely honest. Not necessarily. Like, what's the damage that the infantry does, though? This is the real question. Like, how much damage does this infantry do? Like, probably not much. 1 to 3. Okay, so potentially 3% dam. Oh wait, this is at 10 hit points though. Still doing 1 to 3. So it could be at 97, and that was a 44 to 51. So one of them could have been a 50, potentially hit. Yeah, definitely. Okay, well, you know what, folks? It could have worked. Could have worked. I think this was honestly robbed. Should have definitely worked. But either way, is what it is. Can't really do much about it. Take the other shot. So you're in a pretty good spot, though, to be honest. Copter could move in. Tanks aren't really going to do a whole lot of damage here. So all things considered, pretty good. But if Spidey busts out another battlecopter over here, might be a little bit difficult. But no other vehicles are in the vicinity right now, so that's pretty good. That's pretty good. I think zootriot should be able to maybe win this front, but busting open this pipe seam is actually a really good idea. So if you bust open this pipe seam, this base gets a very quick reinforcement over here and over here, instead of having to loop all the way around, because that is an extremely slow reinforcement, and that's incredibly dangerous. Incredibly dangerously slow reinforcement. But Spidey, how does Spidey have 29,000 funds in the bank? Like, that's just crazy. It's crazy. 12,000 funds left in the bank. Gets the battlecopter and anti-air on the field and brings a tank up north. Okay, zootriot, 25 grand in the bank. Gonna probably bust out Gold Rush. Oh, so we don't bust out Gold Rush. We don't buy a battlecopter either. Ooh, okay, so there could be a reason for this, folks. Now, the other thing that Colin does have that makes him incredibly powerful is the fact that he has power of money. So maybe zootriot is planning on doing a power of money to bypass Sturm's defenses and get like a really, really big hit. But I mean, with 24, oh, he's gonna have like 36. Okay, he's gonna have like 50,000. He could just like completely zerg Sturm with like soiled abominations and like classy medium tanks. Hopefully classy medium tanks, but he's probably gonna bust out soiled abominations. Nice hit on the copter, though. What a beautiful strike. Manages to almost clear that entire corner. The other dangerous thing about this, though, is Sturm is going to have Meteor Strike, folks. Meteor Strike. And these guys are bunched up. These guys are looking pretty bunched up. I mean, even a baby meteor right here will completely decimate this little corner right here. But 53,360 funds in the bank. Buys a Soil Abomination, buys a Bomber, buys an Infantry. Okay. Should have enough charge left over next turn to get another Gold Rush. So he's going to have another Gold Rush on top of this. So that's going to be pretty wild. Spidey continuing the assault up north, but is kind of in a pickle. He's got no anti-air in position to cover this copter, so that's going to be a free hit on this copter for sure. I think he'll be able to clear this infantry with a anti-air infantry strike, which should allow the bomber to clear the tank as well. So ooh, zootriot might be able to clear copter and tank and leave nothing but infantry up north, which would be pretty wild, folks. Pretty wild. However, oh, baby meteor comes in, hitting the north. So now that is going to be a little bit more risky. A little bit more risky indeed. I don't think that clear is going to go through now. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, can't actually hit this. Maybe with the copter could hit this. But copters probably want to attack this copter. Ooh, tricky situation. Tricky situation. Oh my god. He might lose the comm tower down south though. He's going to go for the double hit on the copter. Attack an infantry. Attack another infantry. Probably attack the copter. The comm tower is gone now, folks. Probably should maybe bust open this, but I don't know. Spidey and Zoot both bust out a Soiled Abomination, but Zoot's got a classy boy of the sky, so a little bit more forgiven on his end at the moment. Alright. Probably should have bought another bomber. Actually, another bomber would have been great because this anti-air is coming up, and you need 2 bombers in order to deal with that. One bomber is not going to be enough, so second bomber, definitely. Yeah, another anti-air. The reinforcement is going to be wild. Absolutely quick now. Day 15, zootriot. Takes out an infantry, goes for a capture. Tries to block the anti-air. Doesn't really do a great job of blocking the anti-air. I mean, like, it's not terrible, for sure. It's not terrible. It's blocked. Oh, it's just so hard to do damage against Sturm with Colin. Poor Colin. This actually honestly reminds me of a video I did where we were testing out to see if Colin without the normal co-power is any good. And it turns out he's like not terrible, but going up against Von Bolt, very dangerous situation. So this copter placement right here, while in theory this does seem pretty okay with 3 relatively strong units around it, that is definitely destined to fall. So bomber was left hanging a little bit there. This is why you need the second bomber. If you had the second bomber on the field, would have been pretty good. But I mean, it does get a lot of charge. Going to be able to get another gold rush out of that. As long as you block the airport, then you shouldn't really have a problem. I wonder if stealth fighters are allowed. If stealth fighters are allowed on this map, that would be something, folks. But I don't think that they are. Hey, now he's going for the bust. He's going for the bust open. He identifies the threat here. The HQ is now under pressure. Probably should have left that open and bought a bomber. Bomber would be super good up north right now. Doesn't pop the gold rush though. Man, I would be spamming that gold rush. Every single day, folks, get the gold rushes on the field. Number 3 priority in Advanced Wars by Web. Spam the gold. Stonks. Get the stonks. 90,000 to 47,000 now. Attacks the anti-air. Pipe seam has been busted open. Soiled Abomination sitting on an HQ. And just holding on to that money. Maybe going for a Power of Money. I think at this point he might be considering Power of Money territory. Especially with the amount of units over here. But not really any units over here to capitalize on a Power of Money with. So, might not be the best thing. Might be okay. But Spidey's now busted out the Classy Boy of the Sky. Oh, I think it's only a matter of time before that HQ falls here, folks. But, oh my gosh, 3 artillery anti-air over here. That is a very strong position. Bust out the Gold Rush. 71,000 funds, folks. Double infantry. Man, we are stonking it up, folks. We are saving for retirement. You know what this reminds me of, folks? For all you folks out there that, you know, play the RPG games of old, you know, your Final Fantasies and all that, you know how you just have an entire inventory full of elixirs and you just never use them because they're your retirement elixirs? Well, that's what zootriot has right now. He's saving for retirement, folks. He's got that retirement cash, 70 grand in the bank. Manages to clear a few more units here. Pops another Gold Rush, 108,000 funds. And the Resign. There we go, folks. You know what? I think maybe like at least halfway through that, maybe, I think Zoot was just a little bit memeing. A little bit. But ends the game with 107,625 funds. What a great number. What a great number. 6 more days of tier 0 COs, folks. So get out there and start playing. That's about it. Hopefully you all enjoyed that one. If you did, consider leaving a like, comment, or subscribe to the channel. I will see you all in the next one. Take care of yourselves, and bye-bye for now.